we have this lab test done, I don't think you see here in Utah, right? So who would do the analysis on these lab test results? Or is that probably the next speaker?
Yeah, that's probably the next speaker, no, I do train in Utah. I do see people in Utah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of other doctors that work here in Salt Lake City that do also. So, and they're just as good.
You've trained?
That we've trained, yes, absolutely. And I make sure that they do a good job.
And why, as far as I know, don't insurances acknowledge or pay for this type of treatment?
Why don't insurances pay for this type of treatment? Because insurances don't quite understand it. Doctors don't understand it. Insurances don't understand it. Will they pay for vitamins? No, they won't pay for vitamins either. Is fish oil good? Yeah, why don't they pay for it? Because they just don't. They try to pay for it as little as possible, and they may not recognize this as something that is necessary or life-threatening or a disease or an illness. It's preventive medicine, but insurances don't pay for preventive medicine. Doctors don't typically give preventive medicine. Yes, but see, we don't have the foresight to look that far ahead. Yes, it's beneficial for your health. Everyone should be on hormones. Every insurance company should pay for it because in the long run, it's going to protect against heart disease, strokes, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, macular degeneration, et cetera, as well as depression and feeling poorly and constant medical visits to the doctor. We can prevent that, but we just haven't caught on to that yet, unfortunately. It's a slow process of change. You're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. It will get better as time goes on, but we're just at the very infancy of it. Yes?
How does hormone replacement work into with herbs and vitamins and minerals?
Minerals are beneficial for you because they form the nidus of enzymes that control many of your bodily functions. Vitamins are important too because they're cofactors in chemical reactions too. They're necessary too. Hormones also are messengers to the cells, which cause the cells to function or perform in a certain way. They're all necessary, but they're all mutually exclusive. You need all of them. You can't use one and say, well, it's going to cover the other. Vitamins, supplements, minerals, nutrients, herbs help with some symptoms and some disease, and hormones help for a lot.
Then these blood tests will show that too?
No, the blood test won't show that.
Does it show deficiencies?
It doesn't show that. The blood test will show deficiency in hormones, but it won't show deficiency in vitamins and minerals.
Is there a blood test that will do that?
I believe that there is, yes. But probably your doctor will not order that test because it's very expensive. And certainly not through insurance.
So the blood test they're talking about, you can get on Sunday, would that be everything that would help you diagnose a person? It would be the test that you would run?
Absolutely.
To get your answers?
It's a very complex panel. It consists of a complex chemistry, cholesterol, liver test, all of the hormones, everything that you would possibly want to need tested will be tested for you. And true, sorry, the labs typically do run about $800 to $1,000 if you go to the regular doctor and have them done. But we have worked out a program with Quest Diagnostics that they provide the service in the lab test for about a fifth the cost that you'd have to pay if you had to pay for it outright.
I just have a comment. The lady in the front row, we like to have them continue to take the hormones they're taking before they do the blood test, the first one. But we find there are so many worthless hormones out there. The reason they're not benefiting, no question if she was on the right regimen, she would be benefiting in less than a month. So that means she either has worthless hormones or the right or the wrong dosage. And many times we find there are a lot of hormones that are coming from various pharmacies that nobody are getting resolved. We've seen the estradiol very low levels, even though they've taken it for years from somebody who supposedly knows how to prescribe hormones.
Thank you very much. I was going to say that, but I figured if I started to say that, I would not stop. And 2 hours later, I'd still be talking about it because it's such a pet peeve of mine. Yeah, we like to do test your levels where you are so we can show you what you're taking is worthless. Sorry, what you're taking is not really what it should be. And then when you do take correctly, you'll see you went from here to here, which makes a big difference. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, I just wondered, I have a sister that's bipolar, and she's an alcoholic. Would these things help that type of situation? I mean...
Yeah, it will not help her bipolar disorder, which is related to chemical imbalance in the brain, and it won't help the alcoholism, which is also part of the chemical in alcohol. dysfunctional brain.
Did you feel better about being an alcoholic?
I would have said that, somebody would have said, shame on you. You can say it, you got away with it.
As far as mood and sense of well-being, what is the relationship between thyroid and testosterone?
As far as mood and disposition and sensitivity, what's the relationship between thyroid and that and testosterone and that? If you want to become more irritable or cranky and have a worse disposition, then keep the thyroid and the testosterone levels low. If you want to improve how you feel, and if you want to see how low thyroid affects some individuals, and see it firsthand, like I do on a daily basis, it's impressive to me the difference that optimization of thyroid and testosterone can make as far as helping people feel better and function better.
They work together in the right way?
They're synergistic with each other, absolutely, yes. Thyroid, I put on the slide, the number one metabolic hormone is thyroid, the number two is testosterone. The number one feel-good hormone is testosterone, the number two feel-good hormone is thyroid. So they both sort of act synergistically. They're necessary to allow the cell and the organism and the different systems to work and function optimally. So the less that you have, the more depressed your system is, the more depressed your mood and your psyche is, the more depressed your metabolism is, the more depressed your immune system and your cardiovascular system is. So yes, they interact both with physiology as well as mental function, cognition, mood.
Yes, if you're going for a blood count to get just a checkup and you're on these plans, is there an optimal time from when you take them to when you would get your blood work done, or would it?
As we take our hormones first thing in the morning, the levels go up very high very fast, and over a period of time throughout the day, the levels tend to fall down. And usually by 24 hours later, the levels are fairly low. So the question is, when do you have your labs tested? You want to have your labs tested not at a peak, but not at a trough, so somewhere in between. So we typically pick 5 to 6 hours after you take everything as the optimal time to test your hormones. Yes.
What then is, based on the question, what is the best time of day to take some of these?
The best time of day to take them is 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and have everything tested 12 to 1 o'clock in the
I
afternoon.
mean, just as far, not for testing purposes, but just as far as just general daily activities.
General activities pretty much are shut down about 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, so 7, 8 o'clock in the morning will get you through the day, and by 8, 9, or 10 o'clock at night, the levels start to fall off, and that's the time you're going to go to bed anyway, and so that's perfect to take it in the morning. For some people that abuse thyroid, like this lady back here in the back, they take thyroid twice a day. Why? Because sometimes as the day goes on, the levels tend to fall a little bit more, so you take another one and then it picks you back up, because the T3 is what makes you feel good. So sometimes you do a BID dose or twice a day dose on thyroid. And then we do a twice a day dose on testosterone. Yes, sir?
What, can you give me an idea of a timeline as to you're tested, you determine your needs, you start treatment, then would you be tested another time, 5 times, over what period of time to get to this level you're shooting for?
How does the program work essentially? So this lady over here was going to address that, but since you asked, we really don't necessarily need your baseline levels to prescribe for you, because I can pretty much ballpark exactly where your numbers are based on experience. The reason we do the blood test is to show you how low you are, and then when we test you in a month, after being on everything for a month, your levels should be optimal. If they're not, we test you again in a month after we've changed the dose to get you up to optimal. So every month we test you until you're optimal, 1 or 2 or 3 months. And when your levels are optimal on all of the hormones, then you're going to stay there because you're going to take the same level of hormone, and then we retest you on a yearly basis to make sure that you maintain those levels.